Hi, in this video we're going to use Substance Painter to create tattoos for Second Life. I'm going to show you all the process I used to do that, including a little bit of cleanup in Blender. So the first thing to do is to get a 3D mesh from Bento. So I'm going to put the link in the information below. So Bento project, they provide all the different mesh, so you can take just the color data file, you download it. And we're going to open this, you just export that, you unzipped. So I'm going to create this in a folder and we're going to open this with the Blender. So you can use any kind of version of Blender up to 4. I think it will work because what we do is really, is not that complicated, it's quite basic. So you import the color data, we just have, so just pick up the female Coda data file, you import that. So we're going to proceed a different cleanup. So if you're not familiar with how to use Blender, there's another video I can put on the link below. But basically we want to remove all the extra stuff we don't need to prepare this this mesh for Substance Painter. So first thing, we delete the paws and we delete the eyeballs because we're not going to put tattoos on eyeballs. And we're going to be left with 3 mesh, the head, the lower body, and the upper body. The other thing we're going to have to do is let's start with the head. We're going to clean up all the vertex group because we're going to use our own vertex group to do that. So you just go there and delete all group. Same for the lower body, delete all group. And same for the upper body, delete all group. All right, so and go back to the head, you just go on edit mode, select all, press A to select all, and then now we're gonna create our own group. We're gonna call this head, simply like that, and we're gonna assign it to it. We're doing this because we're gonna modify the UV and we need to be able to select certain part of the mesh. So we're gonna do the same here. We're gonna do the body, so it's the upper. Let's call this upper and go to edit mode, press A and assign to this upper, and then go back to the last one, plus here, create a group. So we're gonna call this lower, and we're gonna go on edit mode, select all, and assign this to this vertex. So basically what vertex groups are, they just help you to select the mesh when it's going to be merged all together. So this is one thing to do. The other thing we need to do is you go to the UV map because it's going to be super important to be able to use Substance Painter. So we need to have exactly the same name everywhere. So we're going to call this UV map like that. And we're just going to put same name here, UV map. The name is not very important, but it needs to be exactly the same because when we're going to merge Blender, we're going to use this as a reference and it's going to merge all the things together. So UV map. So we're going to have the 3 mesh having the same UV map and the 3 mesh having their dedicated vertex group. Also, there's one material for all of them, so it's okay. We're gonna keep this like that. We cannot use many material in that case for Substance Painter because I want to be able to move across the different layers. So we're gonna create a UDMI based on that. So let's merge the whole thing. So if you select all and you go here and you join Control J. So now we have one mesh. So we're gonna call this Bento SL Tattoo. All right. So now we have one unique mesh and we need to fix the UV. So if we go in UV editing and we select all of them, we have kind of a messy situation. So they all pile on top of each other. So we're going to fix that. So for example, we just validate we still have the head. The head is there. So you can press this UV sync selection to see what's going on. Then we're going to grab this, move it up like that. And then we're gonna have the lower body. So you click lower body, select, and press J and press Control just to grab it down like that. So now we have the three UV being split, but it's not enough. So we need to create the UDMI. So we're gonna create a new file here, a new image, and it needs to be tiled. This is a really important part. So we're gonna tile that. like this, and then we're gonna modify this tile. So we have UDMI tile, we're gonna create 3 of them. So the 1002 and the 1003. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna just move each of those to the right tile. So let's keep that logical. So this guy is gonna be at the bottom like this, and the upper body will be select. We're gonna go select J, control like this, and the head will be on the top. Right, select J, grab, and there we go. So now we're done. So we have prepared our UV as a tile. So now when we're going to import that inside of Substance Painter, we're going to be able to paint across the different UV. So this is the really big part we had to done inside of Blender. So now we're good. We're going to export that. Use any kind of, I like OBJ for Substance Painter. So let's go with that. Export that. And we're golden. So now we're going to go inside of Substance Painter. So first thing you do, go create a new one. And we're going to select the object we just have created inside of Blender, Bento SL Tattoo UDMI OBJ. So we just open this. The name, it's not really important, it's just a choice. I like to, it's important to use PBR metallic roughness with alpha. So this is something you're gonna need to do. And also be sure you select use UV tile workflow and preserve UV tile layout per material, enable painting across style. This is the really big part in order to be able to do a proper tattoo inside of Substance Painter. So then we press OK, and then we get our model right there. And then you can see we have our 3 UV tile was created inside of Blender. Inside of our layer, so we're gonna delete the first one and we're gonna create what I call an alpha layer. So I'll call this alpha, and that's really the trick. So this guy here, we're gonna remove the normal, the height, rough. We're gonna keep the roughness and we're gonna put it to max, and metal and emissive. So what we do now, this is gonna be used in order to hide the base of our mesh. So we're just gonna use this as kind of a model to help us to paint a crust. So, and we can put like a little pinkish color just to help a little bit like this. Okay. So we have this in place, and now we're gonna start doing our tattoo. So one thing is interesting to see first is if you compare 3D and 2D. So you can see right now our tattoo, let's say we're gonna paint on the back of the tattoo. Okay, so here we have all our layers of being displayed. So we're gonna paint across those things. And in order to do that is you always start with a fill. And you're gonna have to think about layering up your tattoo, the way I'm gonna show that. And then you do this, and let's say we want a base like it's gonna be black. And we're gonna add a mask, a black mask. And in this black mask, we're gonna just add a paint color like this. Now, if we go like the front, I'm just gonna fix something else. I'm gonna remove normal, height, metal, emissive. I'm gonna put the roughness to this max like that. So it's kind of a, so what we're gonna do, let's put a tattoo on the back like this. So we pick we already create the base of our material, we create a mask, and we have a paint. So now we're just gonna pick up a brush like a basic hard, and we're gonna paint across the tattoo. So just reduce the size so you can do like something like that. So now you can see it's running on my back, but if I wanna go from there to the back of the avatar. So you just go there now and you just keep going. Yeah, magic, it works. So Substance Painter is able to do this translation. So it's a big deal because it's, if you try to do tattoo inside of Photoshop and try to find where these things match, it requires some skill, but now you just can go between the different layer without any issue. So also in the front, so let's say you go from the neck to the head, it's still working pretty fine. All right. The only thing is the arm is a big deal because, as you may know, if you try to do tattoo arms, so let's say I'm going crossing around here, arms are duplicated. So you can see now this start to appear on the other side. So it's not asymmetrical, so it's unfortunate, but that's the way it is for if you want to do a base tattoo for Second Life. It's going to be always like that. So what you have to do is to try to be symmetrical, thinking about your arms in the sense that if you start to do some stuff on one arm, think about the fact it's going to appear on the second arm. So that's the base. Let me show you another things which is really nice to have. So let's use some alpha. So if you go there and you click on alpha, you can pick up any kind of I don't know, this kind of model, and you can put it, you can stamp it onto your model like this. So you're gonna start having like tattoos and things like that around the edge and the arms and things like that. So this is kind of really easy to do. And now let's try to do something nicer. So we're gonna remove this. I'm gonna re-add my paint so I can paint it again. So let's put on the back of the model something interesting. So we're gonna import a resource like this. We're gonna add a resource. I think I download already some stuff like we put a flower like this. And when you import, you can use either texture or alpha. So we're gonna start with the alpha. The texture is a little bit more complicated. So let's start with alpha. So now I have my flower there. So you click on that and you can start having your flower being stamped on the back of the character. So you can increase the scale, or you can also make it, I think it's the, let's remove this. I'm gonna use like a brush, which is more, okay. Now I got my flower and now it's a little bit bigger. And I can use a mask like this. All right. So now it's filling. So I'm gonna change the color. I'm gonna put this in black like that. I'm gonna remove my metallic, emissive, normal, and height. I'm just gonna keep the roughness just to make it more stroking. And you can like go in your fill and be sure projection depth is properly done. So be careful, sometimes it goes across the model. So now I'm getting something more like this. And what you can do, I'm gonna remove this part, we're just gonna focus on the 3D only. So you can go back and start editing this as a layer. So you go there, you did the vertices, and you can just grab this, select then the translate tool, and then you can, as soon as you move it, it snap to the model. You can see it starts snapping on the mesh itself. So you have to, so now it gives you like the ability to spread this differently. You see, I'm just snapping all of those guys here like that, and about this one. Okay, so this is sometimes not that easy to master because the model differ a little bit from your exact model inside of Second Life. But let's say this is what I'm trying to achieve, like this, like that. I want to get a flower which is going through the neck, and I have my base like this. So this is like, let's say this is my starting of a new model like this. Let's say here like that. Okay, so I have something like this in place. And now I want to add more stuff. So here I have one I can remove. So I'm gonna delete this guy. But I wanna add more stuff inside my tattoo. So what you can do, you add simply another layer on top of it. You decide I want to put maybe some, I don't know, some pinkish or maybe some red. Okay, it's gonna be red, my layer, and then you add a black mask like this, and you click there. And now I'm gonna go back to my brushes. I'm gonna pick the basic heart again, and now I'm going to use a different thing. So if you go down and we see what can we do, maybe something like that, and now you can have like a different experience or a different tattoo, which now is being a different color. Or you do something like that. So not really nice, but anyway. So this is give you kind of an idea. So one thing I just noticed right now is my tattoo is going across my mesh. So this is an easy fix. You go back there, and you play with the hardness like this, or you just kind of you can play with the hardness or the projection depth. So maybe we're gonna keep the hardness at this max, but we're gonna use a little bit of projection. Like you see, I just play with my projection. So if I go all the way up, it's going on the front of the neck. So I'm just gonna use this like that. There we go. So now it's a little bit better. Just remove this. There we go. Okay, so let's say I'm happy with this tattoo. So now you go to your alpha, and that's the important part. You're gonna put your color to black. And then you're gonna put your alpha opacity to 0 like this. So now only kind of the tattoo is left over, all right? So now you're gonna do an export texture. And one important thing is, so now we're gonna create our own template for Second Life. So if you go there, I already have one here, but I'm just gonna redo it for the sake of it. So I'm gonna delete that one. So you just click here, and you can call this SL tattoo like that. And what you need is you need an RGB plus A, or which is an alpha. So you click on that, and now you're gonna have to select what you need to use or export for that. So the first thing you need to use is the 2D view. So you put that on the RGB channel, and then you need the opacity. So I'm just gonna grab and put the opacity right there from a gray channel. There we go. So you have what you do. And now you're gonna put a naming convention. So you use this, it's gonna be the mesh underscore, and then we're gonna use the UDM so we know what's going on. All right. So now our template is ready. So you go there, we're gonna pick up SL, where is it? SL tattoo. Okay, save setting, good. So if you go there and you pick up SL tattoo, there we go. So now we're gonna be able to export. So it's gonna export 3 files. Let's look what those 3 files looks like. If we go here, so this is my 3 files. So one is for the, so you can imagine this is for the neck, and this is for the back, and this is for the bottom. So the bottom is black because we did nothing with it. So there's nothing there. So let's import that inside of Second Life. So I'm inside Second Life right now. So I already have a tattoo. I'm gonna remove this tattoo from my back. Body clothing. This is the one was there. So now it's been removed. Butterfly too. There we go. Okay. So what you do, you go inside of your body parts, or not body, well, body parts works. So you just right click and you do new clothing, and you just use a new tattoo like this, and you call this, I'm gonna call this flower back like that, and you wear it. You double click on it and it's get inside, and then you go to, first of all, you need to upload bulk. You're gonna need to upload the tattoo. There we go. Where's the tattoo? Like this. Texture. So I'm gonna upload just those two. This one doesn't do anything, so I'm not uploading it. So you upload that. All right. And now when I go to my tattoo, I go to edit like this, and I'm gonna put inside of it the texture I just created. So the first one, the UDM one, so I remember 1001 is the head, so I'm gonna put it on the head like this, and the other part is the back, so it's gonna be the upper like that. There we go. And if I do save, Now my tattoo is there, so I can see, whoa, I can see that it's going on top of my neck. The only issue is, I may have some stuff going on, so you see, it's not always perfect, so you're gonna do some trial and error. So for example here, it's going on top, so I messed up that part, so I need to go back on my tattoo, see what's going on. So I click here, I just gonna put back my pink, I put my opacity, and I check what's going on. Yeah, I don't see why it's doing this, because my head is probably different. So this is the kind of stuff, since I don't have the original model of my own body, so you need to maybe be careful and redo stuff according to what you can support. Whoops. But anyway, this is like the basic process. So this is working a little bit better. So now we're gonna do another one. So we were doing this using alpha and layer up. So we're gonna remove this. And instead, this time we're gonna use a texture on top of it. So, and then we're gonna use a kind of a transparent one. So what do I have on download? I'm gonna try to use, let's say, that tattoo, like I'm gonna put a butterfly on my back, or this one, or this one, like maybe this one. So I will recommend that if you wanna do something more complicated, so you go on Photoshop, and you just remove some of the layer. Just open that one, or maybe I want to do like maybe an octopus on my back like this one. It's gonna be great. Okay, so this is gonna be the octopus I want to put on my back. You just remove this, and then you go to your layer style blending option, and you just drag this down like this. All right. So then you get something like that. So I'm gonna export this, and I'm gonna also need an alpha for that. So you're gonna do an image, put it on grayscale, like that. So we're gonna keep this guy here. So we're gonna export that, and it's gonna be our alpha, octo alpha. All right, because we're gonna need a mask like this. So let's go back here. So now we're gonna import the asset, import resource, add resource. The first one we're gonna import, and the tattoo, we're gonna import this guy here, and we're gonna see this time is a texture. We import that. All right. And this is a little bit more complicated. So you put it there like this, base color. And now we have a full display of the tattoo. But the problem is, if we try to export that with all the color shade, it's going to disappear. So we need to apply a mask too. So now we import a resource, and I'm going to put this guy here. I'm going to say this one is an alpha. Import. And I'm going to put it on top of the other one as a mask. And now you have to be like super precise to be sure that works like this. And now if we do this, you see we keep, because we have like the alpha being colored, like it's working. So this is, so we can put maybe this on top, so it's more clear. So we have this full, so that's give you kind of an idea. So now we're gonna export that. So this method, it give you more like color layer instead of using mask, but the problem is export. The problem is it's more limited in terms of what you can do. So we will see upload image. This time we're gonna use the octopus only, just for the upper back, like that. And I'm gonna modify my worn flower back, edit. And this time I'm just gonna remove this like this. And it's gonna be, I think it's the upper like this. And for this, I'm gonna put transparent like that. There we go. So now I got that tattoo on my back. Whoops, I forgot to save it. Bravo. Or let's do it again. Here, flower back. Did it. And then going back to my inventory, just like this. And this guy here, I'm gonna just put it transparent. Okay, and then I'm gonna tattoo octo. Save. There we go. Now I have this being applied on my back. There we go. So that will give you kind of a very versatile option. So I obviously didn't go that deep with Substance Painter, but there's more things you can do in order to get all the fancy stuff you need for that. All right. So that gives you an idea of how to make the two for your avatar inside of Second Life. All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.